don't need to wait until 2024 Paris for the Olympics. We've got an Olympian right here. Hi, I'm Maureen Russell Hodson, and this is Springboro Here and There. We are here at North Park on our fitness court, along with senior Olympian Dr. Dennis Brickner. Hi there.
Hello.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Wearing a lot of hardware there.
Wearing a lot of, yes, it's getting pretty heavy. Yeah.
So folks probably know you in the community as a chiropractor, but
Right.
you have this whole other life as a senior Olympian. Tell us about that.
Well, 34 years as a chiropractor and now 10 years as a senior Olympian. 10 years ago, somebody had introduced the idea of running in the Senior Olympics. I'm like, I didn't realize there was a Senior Olympics. So back in 2013, I got online, started looking at the website in regard to that. And I'm thinking, I could do this. This is, this is something I might want to try. So started training back in, like I said, in 2013. Ran in my first Olympics in the state of Ohio. They had their Olympics in Canton that year. 2014, qualified for the Senior Nationals.
Okay, well, I was going to say, tell us that process. It's
Okay.
not, you just don't show up and say, hey, I want to be in the Olympics.
Correct. Yeah, they have a qualification process. Every state has a qualifying race. And if you're in the top 4 of that event, then you qualify for the Senior Nationals, which they hold every other year. And that goes to different states around the country. This year, I ran in Pittsburgh. 2 years ago, it was in Fort Lauderdale. A couple of years before that, it was Albuquerque. And then,
so you're a regular in this Senior
Well,
Olympics.
this is my third Nationals.
Okay.
This is my third Nationals. Yeah, my first one was in 2015, ran in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And so got my first taste of the Olympic national scene, got a bronze medal in the relay, and then I'm like, okay, I want to do something that will continue to perpetuate that. I wanted to come back and see what I could do after coming off of an injury I had. So,
Okay.
so
Well,
then,
tell us about what you've won and what events you compete in.
okay. So this year, I attempted 5 events, which was a pretty hefty endeavor, especially when you're 60 years old. You know,
Like a Michael Phelps kind of thing.
well, and I used to run a lot of those events when I ran track at Heidelberg College, but that was 40 years ago. So went ahead and qualified in the 50 meters, the 100 meters, the 200 meters, the 400, which is a brand new event for me, and the high jump. So 4 running events and 1 high jump. And I knew that was going to be an aggressive schedule because in the Nationals, you have a prelims and a finals. So I had to run 8, I would have had to run 8 races, which I ended up running 8 races in 4 days to go through all those rounds. So
And you brought home some hardware, so tell us.
brought home some hardware, yes. So day 1 was a bronze medal in the 100 meters. So that was a pretty good race. It was actually kind of the tune-up because then when I ran in the 400 meters, a surprising silver medal in that, set a personal record, won under 60 seconds. I was one of only 2 60-year-olds to go under 60 seconds in that, ran a 59. Second place in the high jump. In fact, the gentleman that won the high jump was attempting a world record for our age at that time. He didn't get the record, but the fact that he was going after a world record, and I could tell people it was a world record attempt that beat me in that one. So,
So you have 3 medals already.
so now I have 3 medals,
Okay.
and then turn around and run in the where are we at? The 200 meters. Got my gold, and that was kind of the exclamation point.
Yeah.
So gold medal finish in the 200 meters. So yeah, it was really awesome. And what was even more amazing, Maureen, was the fact that I have 5 kids. 4 of the 5 were able to be there in Pittsburgh with us. It was kind of a little bit of a vacation. They got to watch Dad compete during the day, and then we kind of hung out and played games and whatnot in the evening. But it was really special that they were able to be there cheering Dad on. So I think they really enjoyed that as well.
Well, I'm sure you're a big inspiration to them, too.
Well, yes.
Just keep on going.
Well,
I mean,
the beauty, yeah,
days,
exactly right. And the beauty of that, well, let me step back a second. Last year, I had decided I was going to sign up for the 400 meters. Reason why is because one of the things I try to promote with my kids is don't shy away from doing hard things. So I signed up for the 400 meters because I didn't want to do the 400 meters. It's a really hard race if you know anything about track. And so I went ahead and ran that, and with the emphasis of trying to show them that, yeah, you know, you don't shy away from a challenge. And fortunately, it was a challenge that I was successful in. That was one of my silvers. So yeah, it was,
wow,
and did a personal best. Like I said, ran under 60 seconds. I was really excited about that.
How many people overall are you competing against from the time you start to qualify to the actual race time?
Good question. It was over 1,000 people that were participating in track and field.
Wow.
Now in Pittsburgh, there was over 10,000 people in the Senior Olympics because they have 20 different events representing every state in the union, and actually 8 different countries were involved with this. So 10,000 people for all the events, over 1,000 for the track and field. Now in my particular races, I had as many as 40 that were competing against. So
You're the champion.
Yeah, exactly right.
Pretty great.
So yeah.
Go through what your training process is. Like, did you come back and hit it right away and get ready? Are you getting ready for another competition, or do you wait every 2 years, or how does that work?
That was the problem when I first started. I thought, oh, I could jump on the track and just get going back 10 years ago and sustain some injuries. You don't bounce back as well, Maureen, when you're 50 versus when you're 18. So I got a lot smarter as I got older, and I've been
tends to happen.
As tends to happen, fortunately, you hope. And so, yeah, over the last 10 years, it's actually been a whole training process. And so the culmination of this gold medal in the 200 meters was 10 years of training, with the last 6 to 9 being the really intense stuff. I mean, I was going at it 5 to 6 to 7 times a week with some breaks in between there. And so I've taken a little time off. There's a race coming up in September in Kentucky. I haven't decided if I'm ready to go in, ready to jump back into that. So, but next year will be a decision year. I keep telling my wife, I'm like, I think I'm going to retire. And she's like, why are you doing that? I'm like, well, it is a hard grind.
Yeah.
I mean, to be at the level I want to be at, it takes a lot of energy and effort into it. And so, yeah, you ask about the training routines. I spend a couple of days on the track. Springboro High School has been good enough to let me train there. I've ran every stadium step in that stadium over the last 4 or 5 months, doing part of my training routines. Spend a lot of time at the Y. I even get out here and do some cross training. So yeah, it's you know, it's definitely an endeavor, let's say.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a very big commitment.
Yes, that's the good word.
But it's something that you should start. I mean, you can start today, no matter if you're 18 or if you're 60.
Correct.
You just need to get moving, right? That's
well,
your message.
and that is the message, you know, because a lot of people ask me, well, why are you doing this? Well, a couple reasons. You know, the chiropractic lifestyle is about moving well, eating well, thinking well. And so part of that movement as a chiropractor is about balancing and motion and mobility. And so that's something that you just can't take a break on. So I try to lead by example as a healer, as a health professional. I try to be an example with that. And yeah, you just like with gravity doesn't take a break, you know, disease and illness doesn't take a break. You know, we really don't get an opportunity to take too many breaks when it comes to our health and well-being. So yeah, like I said, try to lead by example in that regard there.
And so if we wanted to get started, would you say small steps?
Start small, finish big, exactly right, yeah. And once again, when I was first starting this journey 10 years ago, jumped into it a little too fast, so once again I learned, okay, slow and steady is definitely the best way to go with that. And you know, whether you run in the Senior Olympics or not, that's not the big thing, because really and truly, we all are athletes, you know, whether you're going to the office and you're sitting behind the desk, or you're a chiropractor, or you're a dentist, you know, you're using your body. God designed us to move, and so part of that, and not that you have to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know,
right,
but there is a degree of fitness that we all should attain to. Because one of the things I was just reading in a study, it talks about one of the keys to longevity is muscle mass. And the best way you do that is by exercising. You know, you don't gain muscle mass by clicking a mouse or scrolling through the phone. You got to get up and get moving. Exactly right.
So the next Olympics would be in 2025.
Next senior games, the national games.
yeah.
The national will be in 2025.
Nationals.
So every 2 years they hold the nationals. Every other year, then they hold what they call state qualifiers.
Okay.
So next year will be Ohio State will have a qualifier, and if I so desire, I can be gearing up for
you're
that.
in. I can already tell. Once you start wearing all this hardware, you want more, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and you know. Good point. And not so it's necessarily about, you know, having medals and things like that. You know, I would be training anyways, but it's always nice to have a little milestone to be working towards, whatever, and just to, I like to experiment on myself. What would be a better fitness routine? Because I've changed my routines a couple of times over the last few years, and I'm hoping that some of the information that I've gotten from my own data will help others, because, you know, like I said, I'm in that health arena, so sharing that with others is part of the goal as well. Motivation, being an example, you know, teaching others is part of that whole process of what motivates me to continue on this path.
And I think too, personal best, whatever you can do, if you can just push yourself a little bit more,
yeah.
right? That's
Right.
always good. Well, congratulations to you. It's really cool that you're right here in Springboro. You're wearing all this hard work, well earned. I know you worked hard for it, so we congratulate you.
Thank you.
And for more information, you know, you can always check us out on our website, ci.springboro.oh.us, or see us on social. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.